In this video, we will see how mathematical expressions can be written in C++ programming language using some operators and data types. First of all, variable naming rules. We should always remember that a legal variable name or identifier always has to begin with one of these letters, that is underscore, any one of these 26 uppercase letters, or any one of these 26 lowercase letters. In all, there are 53 options for first character to name a variable, followed by any string made up of these 63 symbols: underscore, 26 uppercase letters, 26 lowercase letters, and 10 digits. Here, the star symbol indicates 0 or more occurrences of. It means any string made up of these 63 symbols may be of length 0, that is, null string is also possible. No space allowed in the name of a variable. And then one has to declare only once a variable in a scope. You are not allowed to redeclare a variable in this same scope. It is also essential that we declare any variable before its first use. Now comes comments. This pair of two symbols, / star and */. Whatever you write between these two is treated as a comment. So this pair can be used for single line comment or multi-line comment, as the case may be. This pair of / symbols is used for single line comments. And remember, compiler always skips the comments before actual compilation begins. Some basic data types. There are a number of data types which are allowed in C++. In this video, we will focus on only these three. Char. When we write char, char, it is for character or character string. Int, for integer variable. The variable may take on positive or negative values, both, any one of them at a time. Then float, for real number variable, and that can also be positive or negative. Now declaration. Char, str, opening square bracket, closing square bracket, assignment operator, and whatever you write within pair of double quotes is treated as string constant followed by semicolon. This is used for character string. So I have declared here a character string named str. Then int abc semicolon. So here abc is an integer variable. Float xyz semicolon, variable for real number. Okay. Now we can declare multiple variables of the same type in same declarative statement. Int I, j, k. So here we have declared three integer variables named I, j, and k. There are a number of operators, but in this video we'll focus on only 5 operators. This we have this one we have already seen. This assignment operator. Okay. Then next is normal addition operator, plus symbol, minus symbol, subtraction operator, star for multiplication, and / maybe for integer division as well as real division. Now, what is an expression? Any variable name or a constant is an expression by definition. For example, ABC or 5.2. ABC might be a variable of some type, maybe integer or float or string Okay, but strings normally don't take part directly in expressions. We'll see that feature in some other video. So this must be of some or type which values to some numerical value. 5.2, of course, is a float. Another requirement is any expression which is enclosed within a pair of parentheses is also an expression. For example, within parentheses, ABC. So ABC might be an expression which evaluates to a numerical value. Similarly, expression followed by any legal operator followed by an expression is also an expression. Example is ABC plus 5.2. So ABC can be a variable name or it can be an expression. Here in place of plus symbol, any legal symbol you can use. Now some example declarations, let us see. Int I. Here I is a variable of type int, which is integer variable with random integer value, because we have not assigned any value here. Similarly, float f1 comma f2, multiple float variables with random values. Now here what we can do is at the time of declaration we can assign a particular value. We call it initialization. So initial value. So we can declare as well as assign a value to a variable. We can assign values to more than one variable in the same statement. So here f1 and f2 have been declared to be of type float with initial values 10.3 and 15 respectively. Now assignment statement. What is an assignment statement? We have to write a placeholder, that is a variable which occupies some space. Followed by this operator, we call it assignment operator. And on the right hand side, we can write any legal expression. For example, ABC might be of type float, maybe integer, we don't know, as the case may be, assignment operator, and this is an expression divided by another expression, you can say, or entire thing. This is an expression. Okay. One thing we should always remember, that data types of both sides of this assignment operator must match. Now for printing of basic printing and escape sequences, you can refer to my video number 15 of my YouTube channel. Here we'll see some, in this video we'll see some basic printing statements which we can use for printing basic data types and expressions. So here I'm printing the value of integer variable or an expression. I has to be declared before its use, and it must take on some value which is either integer or it must be some expression which evaluates to an integer. The next example is to print a float. It is simple. Here it is the name of the character string or the array which is holding the characters. Only the name is required here. We can print more than one values of maybe different types in the same statement. So here you can see here I is of type integer, followed by, just to give a nice output onto the monitor, this string constant comma space followed by f1, another expression or variable, maybe in this case it is a type, its type is float, followed by another semicolon being used as delimiter, then the character string. So we can print multiple values in the same cout or same printing statements. So I have made one working example for demonstration purposes. Here it is. On the right hand side, if you see, the program is already there. It is comments, multi-line comment I have used. I have used here single line comments also, just to describe or demonstrate. Okay. Usual hash include IO stream and using namespace std here. Okay. Now let me execute this program so that you can see the output. Here I have declared one variable On the right hand side, if you see integer I initialize it on this in the second line and print I. So here you can see the value is printed here. Okay. Here, this is an example of declaration and initialization at in the same statement. So which is k equal to minus 20 and corresponding output is this, which is minus 20 here. Now for float, okay, let me clear it. Float f equal to 4.3 and then it prints the value 4.3 here. Okay. One thing we should know, we should always remember, in place of 4.3, I mean something before the decimal point and something after the decimal point, if you write 6 point, then also it is considered as float, or 0.4, nothing before decimal point, then also it is considered as floating point number. Now next one is cout, then insertion operator. Here also insertion operator. Here with cout, when we use these pairs of less than symbol, we call them insertion operator because we are inserting some value to the output stream. For time being, you can assume it. So 5 by 2. Now you can pay attention here. 5 is an integer, 2 is an integer. So this is integer division. So here forward slash acts as integer division. So output would be only quotient. So here it is the output. It is quotient. It will be treated as integer only. Whereas in this one, this one, cout 5 point. So it is being treated as float. No matter what is the type of a denominator, whether it is integer or float, if any one of them is float, the result would be a floating point number. So here it prints 2.5. Another variable I have declared float g equal to 2.7, and this is the example of printing more than one value on this using the same statement. So here you can see here it prints 4.3, 2.7. Now this is the example of an expression. So we know that I is a variable, so it is an expression. K is a variable, it is an expression. So I star k is also an expression. It has been enclosed within pair of parentheses, so it is an expression. Then plus symbol, k minus I, everything in a pair of parentheses, divided by f. F, we know that it is of type floating point number here. So entire expression evaluates to a floating point number, and g has to be declared as float, which we have already done it. So its output would be something, whatever we get. It is minus 53.4884. And the last example is of printing a character string. So here learn C++ is a string constant, and we just type cout insertion operator, str insertion operator, until it prints the string. So what we have seen here is so far how we can use basic operators, and we can declare variables of some basic types like integer, float, and string data type. Okay, that is all in this video. Thanks for watching.